coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Come on, check.
They run it with Carson. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. We'll look now at our starting defense. Currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
And that's a ranking that feels good, right? To be number 1 and to be the top of your profession. But here's the problem. It's only week 1.
1 week, yeah.
Can they do it 15 more times? If so, then we really got something to talk about.
That's the challenge. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
What friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. Here's Carson. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week, 21 carries, 84 yards.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A 1-yard touchdown reception as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had to tackle. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Go set. 18 Gator. 54. Let's set a top.
2nd and 9 now. And that'll be incomplete. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Bravo. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55. Let's go.
They'll set up a throw. Going up top. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting has taken over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Get ready. Get ready.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 39, Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissler. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. It's a gain of 34.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So they have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
A 4-yard pickup, not enough. Fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out come the Giants. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 there, and the Giants have a first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
25 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Yep. Undercut. Watch the safety creep. Check it out, read. 5.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll look to throw. He finds Coleman. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run for it with Barkley, and he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his third touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Switch.
This is Carson. He'll have a first down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now it's Carson. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Mike. 380. 59. Hey, let's get in them holes. Slam.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play. They got the ball to the outer third of the field, but they could not seal that edge and lost yardage.
And I love how you brought that up, because sealing the edge is often a function of the offensive tackle on the line of scrimmage, oftentimes a tight end, maybe your H-back, someone to set the edge at the line of scrimmage to give them a spot to get to. If you're not able to do that, you're not able to turn the corner.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll bring up fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. And New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
10-2 stop. It's just me and you. Ready?
On first down, Childress. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 10 yards, good for a giant first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Hey, Echo. Now.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He only has a single solo carry, 1. Numero uno, 2nd quarter. They need to get in the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only 1 carry kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out.
Will they incorporate him? We'll find out. Now this throw caught left side. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
On first down, Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30.
Go!
Now back to throw. He's going to air one out. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on first and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
This one complete to Coleman. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Check, 59. Come on, baby.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. And now we'll get a late timeout. as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And as they approach halftime, it's the Redskins who have the lead in that one. D.D. Westbrook, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. From there, we head on over to Wisconsin to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau Field. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. John Ross, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they trail the visiting Eagles at halftime. Carson Wentz lighting things up. 3 touchdown passes there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley. 77 yards, and the Giants have taken the lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Rosas to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Wilson now to throw on third down. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10.
So they wound up passing on a long field goal try, but that works out for them really well. That one's down inside the 5-yard line.
And it's risky because your punter, if he puts it in the end zone, the net result not worth it, but there, I think worth it. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. He'll drop to throw. That's complete to Slayton. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Here we go.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. He'll look to throw. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 10 yards, good for a Giant 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
In your face.
They'll run on 1st down. Childress. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Watch left.
2nd and 3. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. The 30. 10, and they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. And a big turning point here in the 2nd half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
Point after, right down the middle. And that gives them a 3-point lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's 2nd and 8. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Hey, Charlie. 56. Hey, next guy. Go.
Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now Wilson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. O'Shane Ximines. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Catch made by Slayton. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 1st down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook. but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 39 yards there, a big one. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They're going to look to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Here's Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Giants are going to jump back in front. He's got the hat trick now of rushing touchdowns. Also has his team the advantage.
And I'm looking at it 2 ways here. If I'm on defense, I don't care what they do now. I commit as many people as it takes to slowing him down running the football. Even if they want to hit me over the top on play action, I just don't let him beat me that way anymore. And if I'm him, I'm in the huddle calling the plays myself. I don't care what play call comes in. I tell my quarterback, guess what? You're handing it to me again.
And if I'm the quarterback, I'm saying, okay, that sounds good, right?
Smart quarterback.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And out now come the Seahawks. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Go now. 8 read. Check, block 54, block 54. Go. Switch. 80 weapons. 36.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. Second down.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
The throw over the middle taken in, and they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards and a giant first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll set up to throw. That's caught. It's Coleman. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A gain of 32 that time. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collective.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. From 3 yards out, and the Giants are able to add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Rosas good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep, and he is out of bounds here on the return. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Giants on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw here. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So Russell Wilson in the offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to play. They have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, but they need 2 scores. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Draw play. This is Carson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. They go play action here on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. On first down, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Now Wilson. And it's caught. And he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now Saquon Barkley, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And the Giants send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this one's high, but not very far. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. On the delay, here's Carson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. One last shot for Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Giants, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.